All right, let's take you to the story now. City Power is conducting emergency repairs on a feeder board at Eikenhof substation after one of its isolators experienced a flashover this evening. So the incident, which happened last week, affects the dedicated transformer supplying power to Rand Water Board pump station. Let's get more details now and understand where things stand right now. Isaac Mangena, who's a City Power spokesperson, joins us live now. Isaac, thank you so much for your time. Let's start talking with, the very latest on what's happening now to try and restore that particular power station.
Good afternoon, Bongi, and thanks for having us. We are basically moving with speed to try to ensure that we finish the repairs on this infrastructure that was basically damaged during the flash last night. So we have basically finished doing one of the feeder boards, which is providing electricity to at least half of Rand Water. And as I'm talking to you now, we have managed to basically switch that feeder board on after it tested clear and after some repairs that started last night. And as I'm talking to you now, the half, at least 50% of power has been restored to Rand Water so that they can be able to recover from losses since the fire at 8 o'clock last evening. So we are still here basically finalizing some of the repairs to the second feeder board, which will take us to 100% of restoration, and we're looking at this evening as promised that we should be able to have restored this institution.
I'm going to get to the implications in just a moment, but Isaac, if you can tell us what this flashover is, because last night when this was happening, a lot of people were asking, what exactly do we mean when we talk about a flashover?
So basically with electricity infrastructure, it's when there's a spark, so to say, which basically will contaminate the infrastructure with carbon and other things. And that's why part of what we were doing when we basically arrived here last night was to basically dismantle the whole feeder board, and then we cleaned it up so that the carbon that emanated from that flashover or that spark that happened can basically be cleared before we can try to fix or even see the extent of the damage. It happened during the time when, you remember that over the weekend there was an issue with water electricity supply to this institution because of what was described as a lightning. It was really something similar to what happened here today. So we managed to fix on Saturday and Sunday that issue, and we restored electricity. There was not much of an impact in terms of the operations here. However, yesterday evening, afternoon into evening, our teams were basically trying to normalize after that maintenance that happened over the weekend, to normalize the feeder boards here so that both the transformers, the two transformers that are dedicated to Rand Water, can basically run concurrently and use two different feeders so that they can basically have more capacity to pump as much water as possible. So that's when that flashover basically happened, and we lost the whole substation.
So now the problem disrupting water supply in areas such as Krugersdorp, Carltonville, and going as far as affecting some parts of Brits and Rustenburg, is that still the case, or have you managed to restore the water? The water?
So the very same people that were affected, Carltonville, Morgan City, City of Johannesburg, parts of Northwest, Rustenburg and Brits, are still affected, and I think they'll basically be affected a little bit longer because of, as you know, with the water system, basically when the pumps shut down, you have a situation where basically the reservoirs are getting lower in terms of their capacity, and the pipes are also drying up. So when we switch on ourselves for the system, for the water system to recover, it takes a little bit longer than with electricity to wait and on and off, and then it's either you've got power or you don't. So with water, they need to basically make sure that they fill up those reservoirs and pump, and then also need to basically ensure that the pipes are also pressured, and then they can be able to release water to most of the people that are affected. We have communicated with them about some of the progress that we are making around the repairs, and I think they've communicated with most of their customers, including the mines in the western part of Johannesburg, and especially Rustenburg area.
Very briefly then, Isaac, how far are you? Because there was another operation that City Power you were busy with to disconnect non-paying residents and businesses. How's that going?
That is going very well, and I think we have managed to basically start moving the needle in terms of those people, the delinquent customers that have not been paying for electricity. And it's just saddening that most of these customers are really business customers, people that are making profits from the usage of electricity, and they are not basically reinvesting that money into the electricity infrastructure so that we can keep their businesses running. So, but we have been moving around, and this week we'll be in Roven, where we'll also be disconnecting some of the businesses in that area. We have started seeing some of them coming through to make arrangements while others paid off their debts, and we are really happy. The message to them is that they shouldn't wait for City Power to come knocking at their doors. They should just do what is right. If they are not able, they're struggling, they can come and make an arrangement with City Power, and then we'll be able to basically ensure that they've got electricity.
All right, Isaac Mangena, the City Power spokesperson, thank you so much for your time. And that is the very latest there as far as that water supply interruption is concerned. Parts that are still have been without power, in fact, without water since last night. Those in Mangena City in the northwest, those reservoirs are still running low there. So we'll continue to monitor this and see.